Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and tonight, whenever this gets to get uploaded to YouTube, we have the absolute privilege and joy to sit here, me and thee, and break down, react and discuss our team, Rangers, making the final of the Europa League. And let me just say that again for all the ins away in the back. Rangers Football Club, European finalists. Honestly, man, how many German teams need to get it before we start getting our respect? And respect needs to be put in our name. Now, this video is going to be absolutely scattered all over the place, and I apologise, but put some respect on our team's name out there, please, because what we have done to get here is absolutely stupid. There's no better, well, there probably is a better word by people that's a lot smarter than everything for me, but regarding myself and how I think about it, it's stupid that we have got here, because the way the competition is these days, I mean, they've created that Conference League, that's where they want to put certain teams and everything, because they want their glamours in the top 5 leagues and all this stuff, the ins that they pour the money out and all that stuff, that's where they want all the teams, but we have just refused to go away, we have refused to lose the fight, and we have battled and fought everyone on our way all the way to the European final, and it's absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. If there was ever a bunch of players that deserved to do it, I'm so glad it's our boys, people, because what we have witnessed from them is the impossible, because we heard all week, make us dream, we've sang it, we've cheered it, we've shouted it, well, we did, but it was the players that went on the park and actually delivered the dream, so shout out to every single one of them. I mean, some of them's going to get a wee bit more of a mention than the other just because of the reaction and everything like the way these go, but every single one of them, just bow down to them, because what they've gave us is honestly absurd. It just really is, with one of the most gutsiest performances. You talk about us going in there, right? We've got no Morelos, we've got no Kamara. We started a semi-final versus Leipzig with 0 strikers again. People, we've got basically our team on a very tight string. We know not everyone's fully fit. I mean, Aaron Ramsey was dropped to the bench, of course. He's not been able to get firing in a Rangers shirt. Ryan Jack was obviously playing about 50-60 minutes because that's what he can give right now, because he's having to play all the time. But we never get caught up in excuses or anything like that. These players just go out and give everything, and it just shows you, people, that if you just give everything you can get, and if you fight and you stick together and you've got a real team there, anything is possible, and that is why we have reached the final of the Europa League. And honestly, I'm probably going to say that so many times in today's video, but it's never ever going to feel enough. Rangers Football Club, I love you. And speaking of love, I need to talk about the skipper here, because you can't talk about Rangers without talking about the skipper, and you can't talk about the Europa League without talking about the top goal scorer in the competition. That's right, our captain, our right back, is the Europa League top goal scorer, and that itself is absolutely berserk, because you think about it, when he came in to the football club, and again, not everybody always wants to go back all the time, but sometimes we've got to appreciate just how far we've came. That guy came to us in the Championship, he has led us to a league title and has now led us to a European final, where he now sits as the top goal scorer in the competition. Any doubts, any complaints needs to be put aside. That man there is a bona fide Rangers legend. But again, if you watch the game, you know he wasn't the only one, but I just wanted to give props to the skipper, because you're only as good as the guy leading you, and the guy leading to us is absolutely un-fricking believable. And speaking of un-fricking believable, can we talk about Lundstram? Can we talk about John Lundstram, people? Honestly, if you're quiet enough, you can hear all the comments getting deleted for the reaction video of John Lundstram that were slaughtering me for saying he was a half-decent player. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's a wee bit more than that, because I said it a couple of games ago and everything like that. I've not seen what he's able to bring to your midfield since Barry Ferguson. I've said that, got a wee bit of flack on YouTube and everything like that for it, but again, to me, he's just everything you could want. He can run, he can tackle, he can come back, he can throw his body on the line, and he's got a wee bit of quality, and he seems to pick up with another goal. But he just had something the night, and it was just, he was refusing to lose anything in the middle. And if there was ever one person that probably was deserving of scoring the goal to get us to a final, I'm glad it's that laddie, because again, we knew where his career was sort of heading with Rangers. He wasn't really given an opportunity, dropped unfairly in my opinion, looked for exit, was given a halfway opportunity in one game to see if he had everything, and not only did he take his chance, he grabbed it, shoved everyone else out the way and says, I'm Mr. Rangers, and I'm the midfielder you've been looking for. And he was absolutely frightening tonight. Like, honestly, if you're watching today's video, sum up John Lundstram's performance in one word for me. Scroll down to the comments and just see. Like, honestly, I'd let that man run up and kick me directly in the face. Do you realise how well you've got to play and perform and grab a game by the scruff of the neck to warrant another human being saying that they would allow to be kicked in the face? Well, that is how Big John, Big Scouse John, went ahead and performed as he scored the winning goal to take his team to a European final. I'm dizzy, but I need to sit down. Honestly, I'm away. But I need to stop pointing out individuals because this video is going to be a ridiculous length, and the longer you watch today's video, you'll hear the names you're probably screaming right at me, because going into this game of football, if you watch yesterday's preview video, I did bag a free one in the prediction, so if you watched the preview videos, you're welcome, that's right, it was never in doubt. But the main thing we were all agreeing when we had conversations in the comments is it had to be a fast start, and we had to offer a hell of a lot more than we did in the away game. And of course we did. And shout out the Ibrox faithful, by the way, because that atmosphere, you could see it rather. Now again, I was away in Germany and everything like that, and you could see some empty seats over the Red Bull side of thing when you're looking across. You could hear the Rangers fans loud and proud all the way through the away game. And we kind of talked about that as we were going back. We're like, I think the atmosphere will shock them a little bit like Braga, and they did, people. They looked absolutely terrified the first 20 minutes of this game, and that's an all credit, because that is one of the loudest and bounciest and just the vibes you were getting off that crowd. I'm sure even if you were watching it in a different, you felt it going all the way through. And that's the 12th man. That's what people talk about. It's not Bobby Madden or Kevin Clancy when you hear the 12th man, no matter what other people say online. That right there is what the 12th man can do when an entire stadium is rocking and pulling in the right direction. And it just set Rangers up for the fast start that they actually had, where they did look dangerous. There was a cross that kind of dropped into the box just 7 minutes into the game, just lacking that little bit of striker instinct, and you think to yourself, right, is that maybe gonna hold us back or anything like that? Well, it never, because the one time that Red Bull actually got forward in the opening 15 minutes, what happened? Ryan Jack just came out and absolutely nailed one of them, people, just knocked them on the arse and took the ball clean. And that's what the story of the game was. Our midfield destroyers, our right back, even Barisic was getting involved. Every time they came forward, they were getting absolutely nailed out the building, and it was brilliant. It just got the crowd up and that, so shout out to Jacko as well, because you look at that, after he got the ball, what was happening? Minute and a half later, the ball was slapped back into the net of Red Bull. It's a brilliant ball out to Glenn Kamara, but again, Kamara's not had the best season. I'm not going to sit here and try and rewrite history. It's not been going too great for him recently, but you could hear he was motivated. You know everything that was going on this, and we'll talk about that the longer the video goes on. But he had a point to prove tonight, and the way he brings this ball down, he's got two men on him. When Kamara's at his best, he's absolutely frightening, and that's why we get so frustrated with him, because we know what he's capable of, because he's taken two internationals completely out the game there, and then he just feeds Ryan Kent, and Ryan Kent just goes like Seabiscuit, and nobody can get near him when he's full flight, and people can mock him and say he needs to score more. Aye, everybody could score more. If he was banging 35 goals a season along with his 19 assists this season, he'd be at Real Madrid, people, alright? So I think we're a wee bit too harsh on Mr. Ryan Kent, because look at him now in Europe. Look at every manager we've came against. Who do they point out? It's frickin' Ryan Kent, and this is brilliant here. Drives right at the defence, again gallops away, and he actually does the exact same cross he done in the away leg. If you think back, we actually spoke about it right here on the channel together, me and we had nobody gambling at the back post, but somebody gambled, and I actually thought it was Scott Wright, because I put a wee bet on Scott Wright to score the first goal, if I'm honest with you. So I'm like, just about to freak out, but then I notice it's Tavernier and I'm away anyway. But Tavernier, right place at the right time, the striker's instinct from a right back, smashing it in, and we have the absolute dream start that we needed and deserved, in my opinion, in the opening 15 minutes. And aye, Tavernier, what more can we say about this laddie? The goals, it'll never be replicated. The goals and assists that man's had, enjoy him every single season he's here, because we will never ever see the likes of that again coming for the right back spot. Speaking of mental, by the way, that was Ryan Kent's 19th goal assist of the season, but it wasn't done just yet. But I want to talk about, again, the gritty side of the game and the gutsy side, because if you think back to how we got that goal starting off, it was a challenge by Ryan Jack, then the quality. It was both sides of the coin. You had the grit and determination, and then you had the skill and quality. Well, that exactly repeated just 5-10 minutes later, because in the 22nd minute, Connor Goldson does do a bad pass. Right, I'll hold my hands up. Very, very silly. But then go ahead and look at the challenge he does to make up for that pass. Just gets the crowd up again. It's a world-class challenge for Connor Goldson. And then again, 90 seconds later, the Boz in the back of the net. And as I'm playing this in my mind, getting ready to say this in the video, I still can't believe the way it actually unfolded, right? Because the ball originally goes away, but Scott Wright stays active. Surprise start, if I'm honest, but he stays active, wins the ball back. He then does a nice little pass with Joe Rebo out to the right. It comes back into Scotty Wright, who's picked up a very good position inside the box, and he just lays it out, and I'm going, is this John Lundstram? Oh, it's Glenn Kamara. Who's he passing to? Oh my God! He's passed it into the back of net. What a finish for Saucy Glenn. Honestly, he must have been thinking he was playing St Johnson with the sauce and the coldness that he delivered to Germany the night, because he was absolutely frightening. And the goal, honestly, see if you didn't watch Rangers a lot, you'd say, oh, he's got a wee bit, son. He's a right goal-scoring midfielder, but he really, really isn't. But the finish, the best thing you can say about it is it looks cultured. Wee curl shot, bends it round the defender, gives the goalkeeper no chance, and then he takes the black band off, which was, of course, for Jimmy Bell, and that was just emotional itself. You saw what that meant to that laddie and that as well. He gave it a kiss, he dedicated and everything like that. That's just sheer quality and sheer class for Glenn Kamara, who again has had a tough season, especially over the last couple of months, but what a way to step up and respond, and again dedicate his performance to Jimmy Bell. I'm sure the wee man would have been looking down, smiling and smirking and being absolute off his nut watching Glenn score that. And then the game repeated itself for a third time, people. We've had Ryan Jack, then we had Connor Goldson. Well, now it was Barisic's time for an unbelievable slide challenge. The only unfortunate thing for him is it still doesn't really fall the way to Barisic, because it's a wonderful slide challenge to take the ball away, but it ends up falling. Is it to Olmo? Is that who it drops to? Anyway, they try a curl shot and it's thankfully over the bar. But again, big challenge, crowd up, results in a major opportunity where the ball should have been put into the back of the net. And I'm sorry to do this to you, Big Joe Aribo, but we really should have added a third in the 27th minute of the game, where again it was good pressing, good work down the left hand side. Ryan Kent's involved, Kamara's involved, it goes to Barisic, wonderful cross to our man Barisic. He drops it to Tavernier, who heads it across. Joe Rebo just needs to make contact and it's in the back of the net. It's honestly going to be pandemonium. He completely mishits it and hits it at the bar. How? I don't know, but it was horrible. I'm sorry everyone, I'm sorry Joe for reminding you, but aye, that there felt like somebody had put the crown jewels in a wee, what's that thing called? What was that thing called in like woodwork and everything like that? Vice! There you are. Hey, I'll wear that probably. No, I won't, I'm too lazy, it's very late at night. But anyway, the crown jewels were dropped into a vice after that miss, and it made me very, very nervous, and maybe it made the players as well, because I felt like we had done enough to have scored the third goal, and then when it never went in, our attacking momentum was just halted just a little. But it's got to be said, the referee certainly played his part in that as well, to stop the attacking movement and the attacking flair to Rangers with yellow card. First one I think was it to Calvin Bassey, which, okay, it's a pullback, but Campy had one a couple of minutes before, wasn't a yellow card, and then he books Connor Goldson saying he's elbowed the boy, but if he's went out and elbowed him, that's a red card, ref, so clearly you didn't believe that yourself, never a yellow card. And then he books Barisic. This one, fair enough, he's lunging in, it's a dangerous free kick, it absolute scones him in the dope. You couldn't get any more in there, people, genuinely. It was just an absolute first ballot Hall of Famer, and unfortunately ends up knocking Joe Rebo out the game. I think he's okay and everything, he's been cleared. It was just one of those precautions again with the head knocks and concussion protocols and that day. I think it was the right decision. I wouldn't have felt comfortable watching Big Joe if he wasn't at 100%. So I think everybody done the right thing on the occasion. You've seen Joe at the end celebrating and having fun, so big man should be alright. More of a precaution, but a precaution it was well took, in my opinion. And shout out to Big Joe as well, putting his face where it obviously hurt, and aye, it was in there. But apart from that free kick and the potential threat that could have came off maybe a shot on goal or a cross or if that was the only threat they offered at all in the first 45 minutes. So it's literally 2-0 up. It's beyond expectations. It's ticking every box in our dream. Then all we can hope for is the second 45 isn't as eventful and it's over like that. I'd take a boring 0-0 second half if you knew what I meant. But I don't know. Maybe it's me just being cynical a little bit, but I just felt like there was more to the story. Because again, I spent a lot of time in the oppositional previews and I've watched a hell of a lot of this team. I know they've got goals on them. I know, they've scored every single time they've been away in Europe this season. When they play, they usually score. So I still felt like they were going to add some. So I just felt we had to be a wee bit more on the front foot in the second half and not get too defensive. But unfortunately, we did lean to the latter. And I'm not digging out anybody. That was always going to be that case. You know what I mean? You can't give what we gave in 45 minutes over the 90 because that's just not possible. There is going to be periods in games where you have to set off, catch your breath, let people find their feet again. Unfortunately, when we were taking that time to try and just get the shape a bit more rigid and everything like catch your breath, Red Bull really started to kick on and ask some questions. But again, it's frustrating because Ryan Jack's had to be withdrawn just shy of the 60th minute because a challenge on him that resulted in a swollen ankle. But what was weird about the referee is he warned Ryan Jack that he was going to book him if he'd done that again. Jacko got fouled. Baffling decisions all over the shop for the referee. But Arfield came on and so did Leon Balogun for Scott Wright and Ryan Jack. A lot more defensive, so you can imagine Red Bull piling people forward. They eventually started to turn the screw and after a fantastic interception in the 70th minute, which I think a lot of people will forget, for Connor Goldson, brilliant defending. They started to kick on and then the next couple of minutes happened. 71st minute, it's a nice little 1-2. Kamara blowing just a little bit and that allows the gap in. Again, when you lose a player of Ryan Jack's defensive ability and put in like the likes of Arfield and then you've got Kamara, obviously they've not got the same defensive mind, so there is going to be some gaps. And I think it's Olmo again, it runs through, it forces a fantastic save. In fact, it's Limer, I believe, it actually is, forces a fantastic save to Alan McGregor and I'm going, right, there's my McGregor moment. This genuinely couldn't get any better. But unfortunately, after getting bailed out by McGregor, we didn't clear it. We didn't get on the ball. And from that save, we cleared it. It came straight back, went out to the left-hand side. Wonderful cross for Angelino, who obviously haunted us in the first leg. And fantastic finish for Nkunku, who again is one of the most informed, lethal players in Europe right now and who's barely had a sniff because he's been in Connor Goldson's pocket. You could say what you want about Golden switching off and a couple of bad passes here or there, but look at the 180 minutes Connor Goldson put in versus one of Europeans' best. I think the laddie's no bad. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I was absolutely bricking myself when it went to 2-1, people, but all I will say is I could have picked up chopsticks with the old cheeks, if you know what I'm saying. It was just nervy. It was horrified because we no longer had that little bit of leeway or anything like that. Next goal was pretty much going to win the game. That's who I saw. That's how we all saw it, and I'm sure a lot of people watching today's video, that's how they saw it as well. So it was just about who was going to score the next goal. And ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely couldn't have scripted this any better. We win a free kick. It's by Sakala, who again was running about himself. Dreams don't die. That's what I kept shouting. Every time he touched it, I just wanted him to actually score. But he wins that free kick. Tavernier whips it in, aiming for Connor Goldson, who occupies two defenders because he is that much of a threat, even though he doesn't often get them on target. He's a big laddie. He's a threat. And it actually goes over his head, drops to Ryan Kent, who again is just direct, people. Skins one and just chips one to the back post. Again, is he a wee bit lucky where this comes out? Absolutely. But again, he's had the skill to put himself in the position and it drops right over. It's beat the goalkeeper. If I'm honest, it's unbelievably defended. Like, go back and watch it before we tap that in. How does he even defend or keep that out? It's a joke anyway, but his clearance. Who's the one in the middle of the park who gambles and anticipates where the ball is going to drop? We've no got Roof, we've no got Morelos, there's no Defoe here anymore, you know what I mean? We've no got the real attacking players in around the box. But there's someone there who does it all, people. And honestly, he's the best on frickin' earth. It's of course John Lundstram, who with a calm, composed finish tucks it into the back of net, and it is an incredible finish. It's no a tap-in because he has to get his head at it and pass it around the defence. Just look at what Joe Aribo missed in the first half and compare it to that one. Lundstram's is a hell of a lot harder than that, but he just does it so effortlessly, and his celebration and the emotion, the release. Honestly, I'm so buzzing for the laddie, because I'll be honest, I was taking pelters for saying he could have won Rangers Player of the Year when I done the reaction video and says he could be up there, but finally it's starting to come in to fruition, and we're seeing what a player he can be, and I'm just so buzzing because he's simply electrifying and he's so important to us. And after what I've been seeing of John Lundstram, if they came to me and if they asked me one-on-one who's the best Scouse midfielder of all time, I'd have to say it would be John Lundstram. Didn't you believe me? Just look at the 91st minute of this game. Go back, I know it's offside for Sakala, but Lundstram wins not one but two challenges, then wins a 50-50, then powers down the left-hand side, curls a ball in for Sakala, who eventually misses, and it is thankfully ruled offside, or I would have been fuming that he missed that. But that's the 91st minute. Go back to the previous round, the 113th minute. He's just everywhere all at once, and he's playing at a level in terms of a complete midfielder performance again I've not seen since my hero Barry. And the last thing I want to say about the game, because I know it's late and you'll be wanting to turn this video off, but I don't know if you saw it this way. The very last kick of the football, the last bit of defending that we had today, was from a set piece, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, our Achilles heel all year, defending set pieces. 93rd minute, I'm going way beyond. 93rd minute, last kick of the ball, and we managed to get it away. We had finally put some bits round that Achilles heel and defended it well with a big header, then the clearance, and just the sheer emotion and pandemonium and phone calls buzzing, talking to this, talking to that. It's what we live and breathe football here, and again, what we have done today goes beyond anything that could have happened in Scottish football this season. Reaching a European final, people, with all the odds stacked against us, starting the Europa League off, losing our opening two games to where we are now. Full credit to these players. They're well and truly making us proud, and I'm absolutely buzzing. And I just want to finish up the video now. I know there might be some stuff I've missed or anything, but genuinely love every single one of them. And again, I just want to see what your thoughts and opinions are down in the comment section below. So share your thoughts. Who impressed you? What you thinking? And I just want to finish up by saying that well and truly was for Jimmy. Just look at the players, look at the reaction. Even the Leipzig fans, very, very respectful during the minutes of applause. I'm sure he's kicking every single ball and he was loving every single second of that. And you've seen the players' reaction at the end of the game, kissing the badges. John Lundstram dedicated his goal to the wee man and everything like that. So you couldn't write it any better than that. Absolute storybooking. I'm so proud, I'm so happy, and I'm so tired, ladies and gentlemen. So I've been Siege over 92. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and bye bye.